To get started, I'm going to make a green salsa. Here I will be roasting half of a large onion, 5 cloves of garlic, 1 jalapeno. If you want it more spicy, add more jalapeno or use serrano peppers. I'm also going to be roasting 1 pound of tomatillos. Tomatillos are not green tomatoes, but if you cannot find tomatillos, you can use green tomatoes. It does have that bright, fresh flavor that you look for in a tomatillo. So here I'm just going to peel the husk. And as you can see, it does have some dirt and debris on it, so you want to make sure you give them a good rinse. Then I'm just going to slice them right down the middle and place them on my baking sheet. By the way, if you want to make this recipe even easier, you can definitely purchase your favorite green salsa from the store. Now what I'm going to do is roast these in a 450-degree oven for around 20 minutes. You could also put these in a broiler for around 5 to 10 minutes and let them char, or you could also char this in a pan on the stovetop, but I find this convenient. I wanted to show you that I am placing my baking sheet in the oven and the rack is placed in the upper third part of the oven. That'll also help while it's roasting to get a slight char on it. But again, you can char or cook these any way you like. So once they're done, I'm going to put them in a blender, and I'm also going to be seasoning this with chicken bouillon base powder. So everything's in the blender. Here's my chicken bouillon cube. I will be adding 3/4 of a teaspoon. You want to season to your preference. And if you do not want to use chicken bouillon powder base, then use salt. That is fine. But again, you want to season to your taste. Okay, so now I'm just going to blend everything well. By the way, I did not add any liquid to the blender. This is purely the roasted ingredients. Okay, I'm also going to be using 1 pound of shredded chicken meat. Now, you can boil your meat, you can bake it, saute it. I actually used a rotisserie chicken that I purchased from the store. I bought a 2-pound rotisserie chicken and took all the meat off aside from eating the 2 wings, and I got a pound of meat. I'm also going to be using 12 ounces of cheese. You can use the cheese of your choice. I like to typically use Monterey Jack cheese, but today I am using queso asadero. And I will show you the brand. Of course, it's HEB brand. That's where I shop. So any 12-ounce cheese of your choice will work. And I just shredded it. Now, I'm also going to be using corn tortillas. I went ahead and warmed up around 14 corn tortillas. That definitely will make a good portion size for 4 to 5 people. But to warm them through, I'm basically going to pass them through hot oil. I'm not frying them. I'm just going to make sure they heat through in the hot oil to make them soft and pliable and easier to roll. So if your griddle is too high or your pan of oil is too high, lower the temperature. You just want hot oil to warm them through. And there's several ways that you can achieve a soft, warm through tortilla. This is the way I like to do it. Okay, I'm also going to be using fresh shredded lettuce, some thinly sliced onion to garnish and to add on top of my rolled enchiladas. This is really the way I love to serve green enchiladas. It's just very fresh. I'm also going to be adding a garnish of Cotija cheese. I know I say it's a garnish, but not really. It adds tons of flavor. It's just another level of flavor to these enchiladas. So here's my salsa. And by the way, make sure you taste it and make sure it has enough salt or seasoning. So I'm going to set up my working station here and I'm going to roll out some enchiladas. And the way I like to serve these, I roll them as I serve. But I'll show you 2 ways to serve these. Okay, so this is my favorite way to serve these. Mind you, the salsa is still warm, the chicken, I reheated it, and the tortillas are warm. So this is a warm served enchilada plate. Now, if you want something hot with melty cheese, I'll show you how I do that. But I'm gonna stress to you, try it this way first. This is definitely the way I always serve these. Now, if you want something more melty and cheesy, I'll show you how I do that. And basically what I do is sort of like I do my other baked enchiladas, but with the exception that I'm not baking it for a long time. I basically roll them out just like I did the other ones. Then I'm going to top it with green salsa, add tons of cheese, and pop it into the broiler until the cheese melts. Now, I don't like to bake this for a long period of time because it changes the texture of the enchilada, and it also evaporates the salsa. So that's why you just want to pop it in the broiler or a really hot oven to melt the cheese. And take the cheese maybe 5 to 10 minutes, depending on how melty and bubbly brown you want the cheese. I just want it melted, but I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so once the cheese is melted, you can definitely serve this and garnish again with fresh slices of avocado, sour cream, black olives, shredded lettuce, onion, the works. But definitely my favorite way is to individually roll them and serve them as I plate them. But again, this is just 2 options for a delicious green enchilada. By the way, you could also mix in some sour cream with your salsa to make it a creamier salsa verde, but this is my favorite way to do it. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.